breaking news. We have Pixelmon joining the Avalanche blockchain. That's right. We have Kevin over here hopping around and doing his thing. And Pixelmon is going to be moving to Avalanche, which is pretty major. They're going to be launching their own layer one. And we're, of course, going to be diving into the details, what that means for some of their games, and as well as their current games that they have out already. By the way, shout out to the Wolves Den. We got the free shirt and some of the free merch over there at the Wolves Den at GDC. And with that said, we're going to be diving into some of the other wider Avalanche stats and metrics that point to a possible renaissance happening on the Avalanche blockchain. With that said, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. All right, first up, we have Pixelmon. If you don't know what Pixelmon is, one of the biggest IP plays in Web3 gaming and really crypto as a whole. A lot of people know what Pixelmon is, thanks to my man Kevin here, where they had a failed, botched NFT launch that looked so derpy, so derpy and ridiculous that it became an instant meme hit. And actually, Kevin became a very popular NFT because how derpy he was, which it is hilarious. So from NFT failure all the way up to this success of where they are now is absolutely mind-boggling, right? Like a derpy NFT launch all the way to building a rare or pretty crazy IP that looks amazing, in my opinion. As it continues to develop and grow, they have some pretty cool snippets of their anime trailer, so possible anime coming soon. They have some comics. They have, it says here, they want to be dedicated to revolutionizing the gaming industry by introducing the first truly decentralized game IP ownership system, or DGIO. Anyways, as we continue down the list here, you can see Warden's Ascent. This is one of the games that is going to be launching at the end of 2025. So this is per the Decrypt article. So with that said, I actually got to play test Warden's Ascent at the Wolves Den. So one of the first beta testers over there. I like the game. I think this game has a lot of potential. I thought it was really fun. I would place this probably in the top 3 Web3 mobile games I played so far. I haven't played a whole slew of them, but I really did enjoy this one and the mechanics that were involved. And I think this one is going to be a hit, in my opinion. We'll see. But Warriors of Novaterra, now this one, not familiar with. I did play Kevin the Adventurer, where you can play as Kevin in a Flappy Bird style of game. And then you have Pixel Pals. So these are the two kind of hyper casuals. And then, of course, their IP play, which is the comics and the animation, which is pretty sick. We can go ahead and just review this one right here. We can go ahead and roll the clip. All right, with that said, they have, looks like Visit Zoo or Zoology. I'm not really sure what that one is. I'm not up to speed on that. But with that said, Pixelmon has signed an exclusive partnership with the Avalanche blockchain for its upcoming flagship mobile game, Warden's Ascent, and future titles while maintaining existing games on other networks. So if you're asking yourself, like, what are they going to do with the other games? It looks like they're just going to maintain those on the other networks. And also, it has Warden Ascent and future titles going to Avalanche, which is pretty big. The company is shifting to a mobile-first publishing strategy. So again, this is coming. Public launch is late 2025. I think this is a good move because I've always said Web3 mobile games have the highest propensity to be adopted by mainstream and really bring in the most noise, the most revenue, all of the above, right? I've always said it, even though I'm a PC gamer at heart and a console guy at heart, but I see that like Web3, obviously in the mobile game arena over there in Web2 land, it makes up like 70% of the revenue in all of gaming. So obviously this is a no-brainer move. And if you have IP like Pixelmon, I think this could be really good for them. It says here, despite a controversial start in 2023 with the poorly received NFT artwork, Pixelmon has transformed under new leadership to develop multiple games and raise millions in funding from some of the biggest names like Animoca, Merit Circle, Delphi, Spartan, and yada yada. So again, wild story, wild comeback story from rags to riches, if you will. Or I mean, they weren't hurting by any means back then, but the just crazy turnaround, right, is pretty interesting. So with that said, why they chose Avalanche? All right, so let's get into that. It says the CEO of Pixelmon told Decrypt that the move is motivated by needing a partner aligned with ambition to grow beyond the current Web3 user base. Pretty smart stuff. I think every game should do that. I think, Web3 is a good way to start, and then you branch out, you scale. You're going to need Web2 players to scale. All right, Web3 is good for the financialization of things or bringing liquidity or raising. There's like all these other reasons why you would want to be here. But then you're going to need to scale into Web 2 for the numbers. Like you got to actually bring in gamers, right? So, really good model there. So, with that said, it says here in Pixelmon's early exploratory phase, we published 3 hyper casual games across Mantle, Base, and Immutable X with each with limited scope designed to test mechanics and user behavior. He said Avalanche makes sense for us as it is the right fit for the scale, ambition, and audience of our games. So yeah, I think with Off the Grid and having that case study, and then you have Maple Story around the corner, literally launching like tomorrow. This is huge. I mean, they have the summit coming up. I mean, Avalanche is doing a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, look at their stats on their network. Daily transactions have shot through the roof, exceeding over 10 million transactions, which is a huge local all-time high, if not one of the highest. Transaction fees are going up. You can see active addresses passing 500K right here on this chart, as well as the active addresses gone up to 550K, which is pretty insane. I think this is only going to continue as these not subnets, they're layer ones now go live. So I think that's going to be pretty big, as well as a lot of the meme coin sector here on Avalanche is heating up as well. You saw the arena launch, the arena trade, and the arena launch where creators can launch tokens. That is also picking up. You can see right here, fees paid just in 24 hours, but that is also picking up as they got like 10 million in fees in the last like week or something crazy. But it shows here 3 million with combined from the deck, SocialFi, and the launch. The reason why I bring this up is because if you have a healthy meme coin community and there's a lot of liquidity coming into your blockchain from meme coins, that's pretty much you're starting to scale, but you're also starting to have kind of somewhat of a flywheel. You have all this liquidity coming in. People want to participate in the meme coin economy, but they also, some of these users obviously generate a lot of, liquidity, and they want to put that liquidity somewhere, right? So they start looking around your ecosystem because now they enjoy your ecosystem, and then it becomes like a flywheel, right? They start supporting other apps, other DeFi, locking their liquidity, providing liquidity. So it's like a win-win situation. And when you have games and meme coins popping off, you have like this big culture moment where you become a lot more relevant. And this is where you can really scale in terms of blockchain users and wallets, all that, all the above, right? So that said, my tweet had aged really well. I said the other day, gaming chains, protocols, or publishers would be foolish not to have a gaming layer one on Avalanche from an IP and decentralized standpoint. Build on Beam was smart to build one. True pioneers, they will do well in this year and beyond, in my opinion. So again, we're starting to see this play out of these IPs and game studios moving over to Avalanche. That's all I got for this video. Some super massive news from Pixelmon. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this move. Are you excited about this? What do you think about it? Do you think Avalanche is going to be the #1 destination for game studios and people that have big IPs like maybe the Pokemons of the world or whatever? I think this is a good showcase of where the direction of where Avalanche is going. And the question is going to become, how many more, game studios and things like that will they be able to onboard? Maple Story is going live tomorrow. I think that's massive as well. But I do think that this is going to be noticed across the wider crypto space as all this activity is going to continue to pick up. I think Avalanche is set in a very good position to be one of the leaders here in the Web3 gaming space. They already are kind of with Off the Grid, but with Maple Story, and now you have Pixelmon. This is kind of like starting to become at scale, right? So anyways, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think. And with that said, be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.